Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat about stuff. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe. And this week, we're getting hype. We're getting real hype, lads. It's Jojo Part 6 time. Here we go. How you doing, Pepe? Are you hype?
Of course I'm hyped, man. I've been hyped since this trailer came out. Granted, the trailer came out like a couple months ago, maybe like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're a little bit late.
But we still want to discuss this. We're hyped about JoJo Part 6. Neither of us have we have barely any idea of what goes on it apart from the trailer that we've seen. And maybe some of Eyes of Heaven, some backstory from that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we probably experienced it in the strangest way through a video game.
Yeah, but me and Nathan were big JoJo fans. We've watched the anime, all the episodes up until now. We've watched the Rohan OVA as well. We've watched that.
Yes.
Everything so far is good. It's so unique. It's bizarre, but I'm ready to discuss this. So get your thoughts on some of the key visuals, some of the trailer stuff.
As discussed before, I think a little bit before in our previous JoJo episode, Part 6 follows Jotaro's daughter, Jolene Cujo. Cujo spelt differently this time. Still haven't figured out why.
Well, maybe we'll probably find out when the actual anime airs. But what you hope?
You would hope so. Right?
That's it. I hope that it gets explained. But
do you reckon it's just because in Part 6 they don't live in Japan anymore? So some American person was like, "How'd you spell that?" And then just sort of wrote it down and was like, "Yeah, good enough."
Yeah. The only other option I could think of is that Jotaro found someone with a very similar surname to him, and just went, "Yeah, there we go. We'll have a kid together." So it'd be a massive coincidence, but it's also a possibility. Imagine that.
That would take more work than probably having the kid.
Yeah, I know.
Finding someone who's got. Not only are you Japanese, but I'm pretty sure they're in America, and then finding someone in America who's got a close enough surname that you could be like, good enough.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones I don't know, it's JoJo. Anything can happen. It's all big, everything's tied in to something.
Yeah, true. I forget what we're talking about apparently.
Jolene's surname is Cujo, spelled a bit differently, but she gets involved in some sort of car accident. She's sentenced to 15 years in I think the prison's name's Green Dolphin Street Prison, I think. And all obviously
what a pleasant sounding prison.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like somewhere in Florida. Green Dolphin Street.
Oh well, no wonder why it's a prison then. Florida man.
Florida. Oh my god, it is. It's Florida man Jojo.
Oh my god.
But no, that obviously. So Jolene gets sentenced to 15 years for a crime that she says she didn't commit. She's innocent. We're inclined to believe her from the trailer. But obviously all these strange things are happening in the prison, as it would do. It's JoJo. There's what's his face? Little character. Emporio El Nino. We're jumping straight into some of the characters here, apparently. But
El Nino.
God.
I just looked at my list and it's got an Enye on the second N. So it turns it into a Y sound.
Ah, okay. There you go.
El Nino.
El
And Nino is normally in Spanish, if I remember correctly from the Spanish I did way back when.
Yeah.
It means boy.
Emporio boy.
It's essentially almost like he's just called Emporio little boy.
Okay, so little boy is just literally called little boy. Okay, cool. We're going by the Dragon Ball sort of naming conventions, are we here? Actually,
apparently, yeah.
I don't know. I'd actually know more than Dragon Ball's named by what they look like. Anyway.
No, they're just named after vegetables and underpants and woodwind instruments.
Maybe it's more of a One Piece naming convention where it's all the I don't know, Doflamingo and he has a bloody pink thing. Anyway,
sidetracked.
El Nino comes in and he's warning Jolie not to go to the visiting. Was it visiting center? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what they're called, but I know what you mean. It is also one of the visuals that was released alongside the trailer.
Yeah.
She's at one of those visitation booth thingies, like,
Mm,
you know, separated by the glass.
yeah.
And she's like got her hand up, and it's like she's been pricked by one of the bugs from the bow.
Yeah. So we assume that she gets her stand from this moment. Like she's just like this is where she gets the stand. I don't even know what the stand's called. Is it like something? It's gonna be something
Um,
stone, surely. I mean, it's gotta be if they got like
I don't
golden.
know either actually.
We can look into that. I don't. I'm not gonna like read into too many spoilers here. But
Yeah, like that's the other thing. Whilst me and Pepe are big fans, we also like that we don't know. There's more
yeah,
surprise that way. And despite saying we've played Eyes of Heaven, we played that such a long time ago that by this point we've
yeah,
forgotten a lot of the small details,
yeah,
which is good
yeah,
because you can go in fresh.
yeah. Exactly. So the stand is called Stone Free. Is the so
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It'd have
yeah.
something to do with stone, considering this one's Stone
Yeah, like you
Ocean.
had Domino's Unbreakable, you had Golden Wind, and now you have Stone Ocean.
Yeah.
Don't talk about Stardust Crusaders, that doesn't happen. We'll ignore that one. Oh, wait, no, Stardust, Star Platinum, of course. I'm being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, yeah, there's me being.
It's 1 and 2 really,
Yeah,
because they don't have stands. So, you know,
yeah.
like Phantom Blood and
Phantom Blood makes sense.
battle tendency is a bit more like they do fight a lot though. There is a lot of battle.
Yeah.
They tend to battle a lot. Battle
I
tendency. So
feel like that's the odd one out for like a lot of it though. Like
yeah, I was grasping at straws on that one, but
yeah, it is literally they battle a lot. Like it describes the whole of JoJo.
yeah, true, very true.
But no, yeah, like there's so that's how she gets her stand. She gets like arrow, and then she meets Jotaro as well. So and then he's trying to break her out of the prison. I'm curious to see like where if this all takes place in the prison as well. Like, do they escape or something? Maybe the whole series is basically on a prison escape, which is quite cool. I like the concept of that.
That'd be interesting, but I I don't know actually. Does it? Does it take place only there?
I thought like I remember like in Eyes of Heaven, like I think a lot of it did take place in. Like, I remember the prison stage in it. Um,
Yeah.
and I remember that. I also remember there. Basically, I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. The main villain of this is Father Pucci. I don't know where he comes from. Apparently, he's like from the Church of Dio or something like that. I could be wrong
Yeah,
there.
he's a follower of Dio. I remember that.
Loads of people say that Pucci is one of the best villains in JoJo as well. So
Oh, that's high praise,
I know, yeah.
especially considering he's following Dio, the OG.
Yeah, I mean, like when you think about the previous villains in JoJo, like Dio is like top tier villain, like in the series. I feel like when you look at Yoshikage Kira, I thought it was a cool villain, but his death was a bit shit.
That's an understatement and a half. It was more than a bit shit. It was shit.
It was shit. Oh no, he got like the whole ambulance thing was shit. But then like he went over to like the weird like limbo bit, and he got like torn apart by the hands and shit as well though. So it kind of makes up for it a little bit. But then Diavolo as well. I didn't think Diavolo was that hype as a villain.
No, I think it was because they built him up and then the payoff was just a bit bad. Like, because you know, like they were like, "Oh, the boss this. No one knows the boss and the
Yeah.
boss and and then you get there and it's like, Golden Experience Requiem, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, fuck you then. Get
Yeah,
out
it
of
wasn't
here.
much. I think like you did see his fight with Bucciarati, which was quite cool. But like it wasn't that much satisfaction because obviously he fought Bucciarati, killed him, and then spoiler alert. But then obviously Bucciarati stays alive for a lot of it. But like Diavolo that kind of disappears a little. He takes a back seat again. Like with like Yoshikage Kira, for example. Like he had like I thought his arc was actually quite cool in the fact that he was like he pretended to live in that woman's house, whatever, as a husband. Like I thought that was really cool. Like his story, like just blending into everyday life, trying to be a normal person. So like you kind of just get his story as well. With Diavolo, it was just like, yeah, he's just Doppio, just walking around like boss,
Moshi, bossy.
But yeah, going back to Stone Ocean, like Pucci, like I'm looking forward to see what he brings to tables. We know that he's a villain, so when he gets introduced, like if there's like supposed to be a twist or something, like oh Pucci's a really cool guy, we're gonna be like, he's not a cool guy. We know that Pucci's evil. There's not gonna be a twist coming there for us.
Well, like, I'm interested in his portrayal because essentially he's like a weird leader. You know, like, if you really look at it, he's a leader of a weird cult or part of a weird cult of Dio. So, like that strange sort of religious zealot thing as well could be quite an interesting angle.
I like that. Yeah, like I'm interested to see like if there's like if like is he kind of like commanding a group of other stand users? Like is that like a possibility? That'd be
Well, knowing JoJo's probably, and it's got something to do with the arrows, and because they're like, oh, they probably have it like in their church, quote unquote, whatever it is they use, like they call the building or wherever they worship Dio, and they'd be like, they probably like these arrows came from our Lord Dio, and then it'll be like a weird like ceremony, like only those chosen by Dio will rise, and then they get stabbed with the arrow, and if you die, it's you no good. Dio didn't pick you.
yeah. Because like, isn't it like supposed to be like if you're not fit for a stand or whatever, you just die from the arrow? That's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically if your resolve isn't good enough or something, or your
Yeah.
personality's not like strong enough, you don't get a stand from the
Yeah.
arrow.
That's fair. And then what was it? Because I remember Giorno, he stab himself with the arrow again, didn't he? And then
Yeah.
that's how he got Requiem.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But Requiem, only those with a strong enough will can control like a Requiem form. Otherwise, you turn into what's his face?
Like Polnareff.
Polnareff, yeah. Where Silver Chariot just sort of like turned into like an old Western cowboy like loner and just started walking.
Yeah, just going around killing people. Like it's interesting, that bit. I would like.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah.
But isn't it just for part 5 though? Like I don't think we ever see Requiem again, do we?
Nah, probably not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
To be fair, it's probably for the best we don't see Requiem anymore, because then I feel like it's going to be like a Dragon Ball thing where then the power creep comes in and it's just like becomes impossible to keep a track of.
Yeah, Jojo seems to like be good at like separating those parts as well. So I think we're quite safe in saying that Requiem is like left behind for this part. I don't know, I could be eating my words when the series comes out and it's oh yeah, it is back. And it's like, oh okay.
I don't know. I hope it isn't. Not that it wasn't cool, but like again, it's just like a power creep thing.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes when it comes out. I'm looking forward to I'm still looking forward to Pucci's arrival, like all the other characters as well. Because I think, well, going back to what we were saying way back when we were saying, like, is it all taking place in a prison? I believe it. Like, there's another stage from Eyes of Heaven that I remember, and I think it's like the NASA space station or something like that.
Yeah, but it was all like busted up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like all like anti-gravity sort of shit going on with it, I think. Like different levels.
That's probably after some crazy stand fight, and that felt like a end level kind of thing. Like in the game it felt like it was like, oh man, that's a boss level. So maybe in the series itself, the anime, it'll probably closer to the end. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Like we have this knowledge prior right now, so it might spoil it first, but we'll see how it goes. We're kind of like blank at this point. Like we know certain bits, but not enough to put a whole story together.
I'm kind of interested on how the voice cast will sound, because in the teaser that they released, or at least the one I watched, like the original one, the only voice we heard was Jolene right at the end.
Oh yeah,
where she really reinforces like I am Jotaro's daughter, because she goes yare yare dewa.
Yeah. I'm looking at like some of the voice cast here. Obviously, it doesn't really mean much to me because I don't actually know.
These names.
Yeah.
I think I recognize Daisuke Ono.
Yeah, because that is Jotaro.
Yeah, but I feel like I've just seen that name before somewhere else. I think the only voice actor that's been in JoJo, like Japanese voice actor I know, is only because it's directly related to one of my other hobbies. And that's because the voice actor for Josuke does essentially a radio/podcast show on YouTube with a VTuber.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
With one of the male VTubers that I used to watch. That's the only reason. Coincidentally, he's also got the surname Ono. I think his name is Yuki Ono.
Yuki Ono. Okay, fair. But looking at some of the other characters, for example, then so we've got obviously Jolene. We've got Foo Fighters as well. Again, like we saw, like in the trailer, we saw her like Power briefly, and it's kind of like I have no clue what any of these stands do. Like I won't do until the anime actually comes out in December on Netflix. By the way, it's an interesting one. Like usually I watch it on Crunchyroll like weekly, but this is actually going to
Yeah.
be.
But to be fair, since part 5 came out, there's been a lot of change in the anime distribution
Yeah,
scene. Considering like what this year didn't Sony slash Funimation buy Crunchyroll,
they did. Yeah,
and Netflix has been like over the last couple of years. Well, I say couple, probably like the last 5 years or so. They've been making big pushes to be an anime distributor as well, and they've
interesting.
been doing somewhat well. Like they've gotten some of the big ones. I'm kind of not surprised that it's gone to Netflix because it had to do something with Netflix trying to get in there fast to get something they know is big, whilst the two big names in anime distribution, online distribution at the moment were like working out a merger. That would be the smartest choice. If your two competitors are like merging and maybe don't have the time or whatever, like they're not focusing on whatever's coming out, you swoop in and take that. Like that'd be, I would.
Yeah, I think like they must have made a deal with like David Productions or something. Like just because they got the OVAs, the Rohan OVAs, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got I think they got up to the end of Stardust Crusaders on there. They don't have part 4 or 5, but you can find those on Crunchyroll if you wanted to. Yeah, it doesn't. I guess it's only a matter of time before they add those other seasons.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Netflix has been doing pretty well. A lot of my friends, at least, like outside of you, obviously, like when they talk to me about like, oh, I watched this anime, I'm like, oh, where'd you watch it? It's normally Netflix,
Yeah, they're up in their game. Like I remember, it used to be quite shit. They had like some random series on there before. But yeah, the characters. Let's talk about characters here. What are your
Yes.
first impressions on like? Well, which characters like jumped out at you the most that you're most interested in, just based on design?
I think it was Weather Report. Is it? That's the guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Just because the hat really stands out. It's kind of strange. It's got horns, kind of, but it's also like a weird sort of like big tall hat
Yeah.
that's like furry. Also, Emporio, because I was like, why is there a little kid there?
Yeah, but Emporio has those like sort of creepy eyes. He's got like those yellow eyes.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I did remember saying that to you when these images first came out. Like, why is that kid got yellow eyes? Because everyone else has got like some sort of colored eyes. And in Jojo, normally, if you've got yellow eyes, that means you're fucked up in some sort of way. Like, something is wrong with that person and something's going to go bad normally. What's the kid's deal?
I feel like that's the thing. Like he has like like in Persona, there's like the Velvet Room, and then like there's like there's sort of like there's like sort of characters that have like that blank expression where there's like some sort of sentient sort of thing. Yeah, like I feel like
he would if his outfit was blue.
Yeah,
bruh, he would be an assistant.
Yeah,
just this weird, creepy little kid with yellow eyes and a blue outfit. Like, welcome to the Velvet Room.
Yeah, he like has that sentient being vibe about him. But so I'm interested in like what exactly his power is, like compared to like it. Also, there's also the whole Joe Bro thing. Like which Joe Bro is gonna get killed.
I don't think it'll be El Nino because the yellow eyes. I feel like it's important for some reason. Like I feel like pink hair dude probably.
Yeah, that's pretty. Like, is it Hermes Costello as well? Like they kind of like give off the vibe that maybe they'll go because it's always like I don't know, like maybe like it's that Caesar sort of vibe. Like Caesar was like Hermes is instantly given off that like the second in command sort of vibe. You know what I mean?
Caesar.
Like one of the saddest deaths in JoJo, I'd say.
Yeah. It hurt me even more. He was my favorite from that season.
But I love part 2. There's so many good characters in it. But I say like which Joe Bro is gonna die. Like they could all die for what we know.
Yeah, it's Jojo. Like to be fair, like in part 5, I didn't think much about which Joe Bro was gonna whatever. But That came and surprised me. The one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like all of them fucking die. Only
except
apart
the
from
most
Mister.
important one,
Mister.
Fugo.
Oh fuck Fugo, man. Nah, you've been tricking
Panna
me.
cotta Fugo.
Fuck Fugo, man. He's a bastard. Fucking cowardly motherfucker. He should have stayed and fought. Damn it, Fugo. I just forgot about him. Didn't come back. Why did he come back? He was OP. He was OP for one though. To be fair, Fugo was OP. Like,
Yeah, but that's why you want him as the squad. Part of the squad, man.
oh no, it just didn't come back. I'm still not over it. I'm still like, he just did. He said, "Nah, I'm not gonna fight." It just fucked off.
Yeah, literally.
Jeez. Okay.
Also, I guess spoiler warning for those of you who haven't watched Part 5's anime.
I feel like there's gonna be spoilers like all over the place in this conversation. We've given off so many deaths. Like we've revealed how many people have died. But
oh man,
yeah, they all look quite cool though. These characters, I'm interested. They're very JoJo-esque costumes as well. Like that,
very super JoJo, but also like super David Productions, like super clean, nice and shiny. Like it's exactly what you expect from David Productions. It looks really good.
Before we get into any major character design stuff, I've got to talk about Jotaro in this one.
Oh mate, what is?
Yeah, Jotaro has just been a mixed match of like his design has just changed so much like in these last 4 parts.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's changed, and yet somehow it hasn't. You know, like they've tried to keep the familiar so you know it's Jotaro, right? Because it's like, oh, you know, it's like the silhouette, you know? Like, so he still sort of dresses somewhat in a similar style, but like the actual like pieces are different. But this is the first time I've looked at him and been like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. I remember part 3 Jotaro, he's hench as fuck. He's got like his muscles, like it's like his design's cool. It's a really cool design. I think all of the designs of Jotaro in the past 4, like they're not bad designs. But
I actually quite liked it in part 4. Okay, he wasn't as bulky, but like he didn't have to fight, so it was like peacetime. But I like that whole like white outfit. Maybe not the fucking like parachute pants, but
yeah, parachute pants.
like, you know what I mean? Like he had the trousers that were like super baggy around his ankle. Felt like he was gonna do like can't touch it.
Yeah,
like, do the MC Hammer or something, like, bruh. But this one, Jesus.
Yeah, part 5 outfit, like we only saw like Jotaro for like about 5 seconds at the start of part 5. But like, I don't know, his outfit's very similar to part 4 as well.
Yes. It's like the whole silhouette thing. I think it's like a design principle when you've got a returning character. It's better to keep the silhouette because it's like an iconic thing. That way they're like identifiable from the start. So that's why he's always got like the hat, the long jacket with like the big shoulders. But then when I saw these teaser images, the first thing I noticed, and I don't think many people picked it up until I said it, but why is he wearing like leopard print, like almost leggings that also are the boots?
Yeah,
right?
there's
no line that separates it. It's not that he's wearing leopard print boots and leopard print like leggings. It's like a all in one.
Like it's like snakes. So it's like he's wearing leather pants basically, but it kind of gives off like early Yu-Gi-Oh sort of vibes. Like remember like in the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi actually had that very similar thing where it was like literally there wasn't like a separation.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, why is it a weird all in one?
Where do you buy these things?
Like he's wearing like a weird middle-aged housewife like onesie or some shit. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And not just any, like, this is like a weird middle-aged housewife from like the early 2000s, you know, where they were wearing all the fucking animal print and shit.
Yeah.
Like what is this fucking nonsense?
Yeah, it's an interesting design for the pads. Like he's kind of lost a lot of obviously I'm saying like he's lost a lot of the muscle from part 3. And like, but he's gone for like a lot slimmer in this one. Like he's got more like I don't know.
I mean, again, it kind of makes sense because he's no longer the protag, and like he would have been in peacetime more often than not by this point. So he's definitely just been focusing on work and family and like not training at all. Like he's probably not really
He's done a Gohan.
pretty much, yeah. But like he did that already in part 4 because when he was like, yeah, I can't really stop time anymore because I don't practice, like I don't use that power.
Yeah.
So like in this one, I can't imagine he's probably only going to be able to do the very basic.
Just go Aura, everyone. That's all we can do.
Yeah, pretty much. Starfinger.
Yeah,
that's about it.
he's gonna be like the knowledge and like just that character just tells everyone like how to use their powers. Basically, he's gone like sort
pretty
of
much
Piccolo in a way. Like I'd say,
Yeah.
there we go. He's a mix between Gohan and Piccolo. Piccolo kept on training, but Gohan didn't. But like, it's that sort of like he's a cross between Gohan and Piccolo.
You know what? I'd say probably at this point the best way to say it is probably he's a Krillin. Where he's like Krillin turned into a cop, so he was still sort of doing minor training, but he wasn't like fighting. So he still sort of knows, but he's not at where he was before. Kind of like that. I'd say like a cross between like a Gohan and a Krillin.
So what we're saying is Jotaro has just become a very disappointing character.
Yes.
Nah, it's
very much so.
Well, we'll see what he does in this later series. See how he gets on that.
I mean, besides the all-in-one boots and pants, like I don't have much else to complain about. The color scheme's pretty like standard. He's got like a gold and purple thing going on. That's pretty like
It's quite sick. I like the jacket that he's got on this time. It looks quite cool. Like I
mean, again, he's always got like the long jacket because of the silhouette kind of thing. It goes back to his first design, where he had like the school jacket that he unbuttoned partially or whatever, like, or was for some reason super fucking long in the back.
Chains everywhere.
Yeah, but like, yeah, the color scheme is pretty good. It screams Saints Row to me because every time I see like purple gold or purple yellow, I always just think Saints Row.
Yeah, I can understand.
Third Street Saints.
Yeah. So talk about some of the other designs of characters, because that's pretty much all we can talk about without knowing much of the characters' personalities.
So who do you want to go for next?
So no, like Foo Fighters is quite a basic design. It's literally just green hair and a sort of dungaree sort of thing.
Yeah, not much
Can't
else.
go off much.
Literally not much else. Just green hair and overalls.
Yeah, like as you said before, Weather Report looks like a really cool character. Like I'm interested to see.
Yeah, but I feel like the interesting part of his design is like the hat and the armbands, because it's all the like weird,
but Nathan,
like furry shit.
What if it's not a hat? What if it's his hair?
Oh my god. Then why's he got horns? Is he a demon?
Oh my god, Demon Akuma!
Akuma! He's also SpongeBob reference. He's got a belt buckle for Wombat.
For fuck's sake. You're really gonna pull that out of it right now. Fucking hell. I was not expecting that. Fucking one. Oh no, okay.
You're never gonna unsee that.
I'm not. I'm really not gonna unsee. Weather, does W stand for Weather Report? No. Wombo.
I Wombo. He, she, Wombo.
They
Wombo.
You bloody Wombo. Okay.
There's a Diavolo looking fucker.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not. I can't pronounce it. You did a good pronounce.
Is it Narciso?
Narciso. Yeah.
Is it Narciso? Yeah.
I assume it is. Okay.
A hell of a lot like fucking Diavolo. Long pink hair. Got the sort of like netting thing going on.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty fucking similar.
Yeah. I literally thought, like, when I first like looked at these designs, like just a quick glance over, I was like, is that Diavolo right there? Is that him? And then I was like, oh wait, no, it's not. It's just a very similar looking character.
To be fair, I've thought the same thing. It is very confusing, especially because like that was the last male character we saw in Jojo with long pink hair. And
fishnets as well, like fishnets or like aesthetic. Like.
Again, the design is almost exactly the same. I think Diavolo had like the fishnet shirt was a little more like the hashing was like tighter, like smaller. This one's like almost very loose.
There's not much else I can really say. Like, it looks like these characters do that. I wonder, like, with their introductions as well, are they gonna be like sort of enemies at the start and then join over to Jolene, or are they
I
just gonna be
I
like,
want to say probably yeah, because like like I feel like they're gonna go like the typical kind of like prison, like oh I'm the big dog in this prison, and then they'll have a fight, and then they'll find a common enemy or something, or some common ground, and they'll be
yeah,
like, let's team up.
defo. I agree with you
I
there.
reckon there'll be one or two that's like not doesn't do that. They're just like friendly from the start. Because you know how like in a prison scene in like any media is always like there's a couple of people who are cool to you. There's quite a few that don't care, and then there's like the one or two that will cause the trouble because they're like part of the gangs or whatever. Like I think they're gonna go pretty typical like prison media on that.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I'll stick with you on that one.
Like I think Hermes is gonna be the one to be like starting a fight for
Yeah,
one.
it does. She does give off that sort of like yeah, screw you. I'm just gonna start fighting anyone, like sort of vibe. Like you look at me funny, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face.
Like funny enough, I think it's gonna be like Hermes and like Foo Fighters are the ones that are gonna fight. Like they're gonna cause the trouble.
They give off like boss bitch energy. Like that is like
Yeah,
like,
like I feel like Weather Report is gonna be one that's indifferent, probably tries to stay away, and then like Emporio and Narciso are probably the ones that are gonna be the helpful ones. Like nice from the start. But that's just the vibe they give off to me, and that's only even then. I feel like Narciso might be like in between, maybe start off fighting first and then becomes a friend.
I agree. Look forward to seeing like how these characters do develop. I'm curious to see what Jotaro comes in. Like he does seem like he's a guide, like sort of like that sort of knowledgeable character in this, but interesting to see what all these stands do as well. This is the one thing I'm like I don't know what their stands look like, and I don't know what their stands do. So I'm just excited to see what all the amazing abilities are going to be with this, or like not even just amazing. Sometimes they're shit abilities. But I'm interested to see where they all go with it.
I'm still incredibly curious about what the fuck Emporio does, because he's clearly gonna have a stand because he's part of the group, right? In this teaser image on the stairs, but he's in a baseball outfit. So it's like, is he gonna be sort of like a Naranja kind of character, like like maybe one of those kind of stands, or is he gonna?
That's interesting. So do you think? Okay, it's the big question here right now. Is the baseball going to be part of his move? Like, is like fighting
Oh,
style?
for sure, he's gonna be something, right? Like,
I don't know. Like, I remember, what was it, Kakurin, when his introduction came along, he started painting shit. And like
yeah, but Araki was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had a puppet with him. He had all his art aesthetic going on, and then it just didn't come back. Where did it go? did the bug that like was planted in his brain or whatever? Did that just get rid of his artistic ability? And then he starts licking cherries. He changed so much since his introduction.
I mean, I would hope Araki doesn't forget, considering Emporio wears a fucking baseball uniform.
It's his vibe. If he doesn't do anything baseball related, you're like, what? Why?
Could you imagine? Like, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot it was about baseball. Yeah. But he wears the outfit.
Okay, next question. Do you think Weather Report, his stand, has anything to do with weather?
If his stand isn't just a bunch of fucking giant clouds or whatever, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
That's why I kind of get that vibe with him, especially with the whole like white and blue sort of look.
Yeah,
like you kind of just like feel like he's gonna do something like weather related.
If his fucking stand isn't a big fat old man with a starfish on his face and a grey quiff and an orange leotard.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, okay, interesting. What is going for your mouth? Nope. Okay, now I get it. Get where he's going now. Starfish on the face. Okay.
Mermaid man.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else that stands out to you at all in this key visual trailer, Nathan? Like anything else you got to say?
No, not really. Like, it's it's pretty much, I feel like it's done a very good job of what it was supposed to do. It's got us interested, it's got us asking questions, but it's not giving away too much. We haven't got any more visuals. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
more news.
No, I don't. Not at the
So
moment, anyway. If we get a second trailer, like hopefully it'd be good. Like we can get some more insight into what's going on. But if not, I'm happy to just wait until December and see what comes out.
yeah, I mean it's not that far away, so
Literally like 2 months now. So yeah, sweet.
exactly. So enjoy the wait, peeps.
Nice one. Well, in which case, thank you for listening again, guys. Make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and check us out on the podcast platforms.
Hit that bell button so you get notified, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.